December 25, Watertown, New York. No one was waiting at the airport for Lauren Clay, because she had told no one she was coming home. She called a cab from the car rental at the front desk, and then waited by the luggage claim for her duffel, which was more than half full of presents for her father and brother, things she'd bought at the Fob PX, and things she'd bought out in the street, in the cramped and sweltering little market just outside the forward operating base where she'd been stationed for the last 9 months. She checked her watch, readjusted the bobby pins in her hair, and thought about the promise of relief that would come from doing everyday things like washing dishes, gazing out the window at kids playing by the duplex next door, taking Danny to the movies or going through the National Geographic with him, or ordering Chinese food and sitting by her dad while he watched TV and slept. She couldn't wait for them to open presents, to surprise her brother. Sebastian had been one of those surprises. And the look on Danny's face when he saw the dog made up for a lot, maybe everything. Sebastian's fur was still brown and as soft as a rabbit's when she brought him home years ago. He had ears like a kitten's, and his eyes were shiny and black and alert. He looked like a baby wolf and lived in a cardboard box in her room. Sebastian was the sweet, helpless thing she wanted Danny to raise, something he could train, somewhere good to focus his attention, the kind of thing she knew could save a life. The dog lived in their house for 2 days before they showed him to their father, and he wasn't angry. He sat up in bed and held the puppy and laughed, and Sebastian snorted and licked him, fell over and rolled around, chewed on his knuckles, with his needle-sharp teeth. His belly was round and taut and pale pink. Jack Clay held the dog and looked into its face.
"He's a nice pup,"
Jack said, smiling, pulling his hair back from his shoulder so the dog wouldn't nip at it.
"He's a good boy,"
he said in baby talk, and then Danny picked up the dog and cradled him. And she felt good because they were happy, and she was getting their lives in order. She was getting things done. Lauren hadn't thought of Sebastian since getting Danny's letter, but now in the calm and safety of the terminal, she found his memory was the first to vividly greet her, to lead her thoughts to the neighborhood and the house she hadn't seen in 2 years. The dog had followed Danny around, sat on his lap, and, when he got bigger, accompanied them on treks through backlots and out along the river where he would hunt squirrels and swim and snap his teeth at the water. He was a strange-looking animal, and the woman who sold him to Lauren said he was a Schipperke mix, told her they were bred to be miniature watchdogs, and made the grandiose claim that during World War II, Schipperkes were used to deliver messages between resistance hideouts. She and Danny tried to train him to do it, tying notes to his collar to carry between their rooms, but he tore them off and raced through the house dangling the shredded wet paper in his teeth, his head held high. When he got excited, he galloped back and forth between their rooms, growling, gums drawn back, teeth a gleaming white crescent amidst his fur. She looked around the terminal and smiled. She had nothing that could replace Sebastian in her duffel. But she'd made it home, cruised right by what could have become a month's worth of useless talk back on post, and made it home for the holiday. And now she had a week of relaxing before she headed out to finish things up. Meet Daryl. Tie up loose ends. Christmas music played from speakers mounted near the cameras beside the baggage claim. Beyond the sliding glass doors, rain baptized those who ran from the curb to meet their friends and relatives in the roped-off lobby beneath a faded blue and white sign reading simply, "Arrivals." They came in dripping, disheveled, their faces shining or makeup running as they embraced and balanced packages and bags. People regarded her in her uniform, her black hair pulled up into a bun, her dark eyes and deeply tanned face. If she weren't in desert camo, if she were wearing a light jacket and high boots over skinny jeans, she could be returning home from school in California, or be some rich girl coming home after a year studying abroad in Greece or Africa. She was back, but didn't feel so far away from Iraq. Home was closer to the wider world than she had realized as a girl. Watertown.